Hello all and welcome to the Lane channel. So in this video I will just share around like how I play in the familiar arena. I'm not kind of like the top player, so it's just a sharing like how I play the game since you guys are asking about that. And this is not an absolute reference because it's really depends on your ranking, the opponent around you, what kind of familiar set they have, and you may want to change your strategy or stuff and how you can actually just win it or stuff like that. So let me just go into my arena right now, Battlefield. And then you can see in my familiar arena I have collected 5 tickets. I did not spend it last time. One mistake that I did is I always use my ticket because I want to get the rewards for the competitive hard star, so 6 piece here, and also the honors matter, but then it doesn't really help. I mean, for the long term we actually aim for the asteroid, so if I'm just going to attack and just lose for this play reward here itself, it it doesn't really help much. So what I did here right now is just to secure my current ranking whenever I can. And so you can see this is my familiar set. I do not have water type Pokemon here, water type familiar here. So this is one of the things that my weakness point, and what I can see from my enemy list. So what I did personally, I always just write down their name whenever I have battled them, or even like with the question mark. I write down their name and I list down their familiar itself. Like this is position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So by using the positions itself, I will see if that would be something that my familiar could actually counter it or not. Or maybe I should shift my familiar just to battle it or not. So what I did here is that I will just play some of my replay, my info. So this one here I lost, and there's like the winning one. So if let's say I have lost it, I will need to see. I always check out the replay to see what formula is that people using, and you can see there's Swirl and Hippo. So this combinations is always shown up in the current kind of formula set. So these two are good combinations, and because of my familiar itself, you can see I'm using the fire familiar, and my main attacker is just Terracona, and I have 2 support and 2 defense, and that doesn't really help because once my Terracona has died, or maybe my supporter has died, I could not counter them because of the water damage to my Terracona is like 1.5%, and because my Kier is also kind of strong, so fire to fire itself, might is kind of strong, and his Toko is still alive. So in that case, it just doesn't benefit me that much. So every time whenever I try to battle someone, I always check out their awakening first. So if they have like Swirl, so you can expect that this position here might be the Hippo. And if you would like to have a sneak peek, or you do not have like the idea if that would be an hippo or not, just check them out on their character. Sometimes they might equip it and give you a hint. Yeah, and positioning is quite important. This is because if I say right now, you can see I put my stack turn at behind, Toko at front. This is because the attack kind of things like stack can actually pulling people out, and then the Evo and Thorax actually pushing some of the defender to the back itself. Let me just see if I have something that can show. Let's just see this one here. And I always choose the CP that almost similar to my range or even lower. Of course, a lower CP could have the chances. But if you have faced like with the Sorbo itself, Sorbo is quite a defender here. So you can see my stat turn pull some of the mobs here. It doesn't pull Hippo. If Hippo is on the fourth row here, I noticed something is that if Hippo is on the fourth pet in the arena itself, sometimes the stack time pool doesn't work, but it works sometime as well. So when it works that time, it will just pull the bunch, I mean, the whole bunch of familiar to the mid, and then my Tarakona will just, yep, will just use the attack on all of them. And I believe this is kind of lucky because his hippo is kind of weak here. If his hippo has high awakening, I may have lost this one here. So let me just see if I have another battle record. So you can see I have battled that person just now. I mean the one that I showed in the... Yep, so you can see it's a puffle. I always drop down whatever enemy having what kind of paths so I can just like estimate what is there. And yeah, because if you click on it itself, I think there is also showing the CP, not here right now, but then I believe during the battle itself you can see the CP or kind of things of the familiar and estimate what awakening they have. And you can see Sorbo is kind of hard because I do not have water kind of familiar that counter it. So I always lose to Sorbo because of the high defense of the Sorbo itself. And I believe this is also kind of lucky for me. Yep, I do not have... Do I have... Yep, I still have time. So sometimes I do not win because of the timing itself, because of Sorbo defense. So you just have to like make a strong defense team to make sure that time's clock out. So I won, seeing back my record, I won this defense, but if I'm gonna attack him, I'm not sure if I can win or not. So I won this one, but I'm not sure if I can win the second time because it is still based on the luck, like the timing when it actually works. I mean the skill itself, it doesn't work in that way. Let me just try it. Maybe I won't attack that because the CP is kind of high. I do not want to lose on my ranking, and but I think the Puffle doesn't seem that strong. But then because the Sorbo is here, yeah, I'm still double, so that may be just my luck on it. Let me just see if I can refresh and get someone lower. So I have some lower CP here right now, so who are kind of like around my ranges here. So 309 just maybe a good one. So he has a might 9, so I might not, yeah, I might not able to attack that because of the might. Might is here, but the evil one is only 2. So what I need to do is just basically from the help of my stack turn, put it and just kill him. I mean, kill the backup supporter first. So this is what it should do. Let's just try. And sorry about that. This is just for the video purposes. So trying stack turn. Oh, it is stack turn. Pull out my stack turn first. Doesn't seem to what I have expected. But because of my Ebon is stronger than it, so it's actually helping a bit. And because he doesn't have defense, so you can see the defense is down, might is down, and yeah, that would be much easier. So sometimes it really depends on your luck or the skill when your familiar kind of like cause it. Yeah, it is still betting on luck. So, so once I have climbed back up, I will just stop and just kind of like refresh whenever I need. But for this one here, I think it may seem easy, but I still have to check. So I always check on my battle record to make sure that I can just kill someone here. And you can actually predict what kind of familiar they are using or stuff like that. So let's see this one here. So he doesn't have a hippo, which is kind of good for me as well. So whenever there isn't a hippo, I got the chances. And you can see I'm almost losing at the first, but then because all of them are focusing on my defender, so my Kona could actually just yeah, try to counter them with his attack. And because Toko is still alive, so my shrimp died, Toko's still alive and supporting Kona. But then if my Kona is the first one that will die, so it wouldn't be useful. And for this one here, what? They got the beverage again. So what I do here is if I go into my familiar self, some of you guys are asking why I do not use some of my high CP familiar, let's say it's my birdie or stuff like that. This is because it also depends on your toy. So if you do not have the familiar specific toy itself, it doesn't help. So I did try to put my birdie into the familiar battery itself, but then I mean, it does cast a spell, but then it just died when trying to use it, boom, or stuff like that. So I mean, it could not even use its skill properly before it just KO. So that's why the toy is quite important as well, the specific toy for the familiar, because you can see there's the special effect. This is something important. So if you do not have the specific kind of toy for your familiar, that is actually a disadvantage. So that's why I did not put a less is my might as well. I do not have a might toy, so even if I put my might on it, it doesn't really do get that good as what I expect. And I have this rare here right now. It's A6, but it just got to A6 yesterday, and it doesn't have the jelly. So it has the toy, it doesn't have the jelly. So I just put it in there, sitting on the deck. For this one, because I'm just using 5-star, and the reason why I keep stack turn in my familiar better because of the pulling skill itself only. So it helps on defense as well, but it doesn't do really much. Do you? I'm not sure. So it doesn't seem to do really much, but then I just need that pulling skill to assist my Tarakana there. And for Bunny Boss itself, yeah, I did not put it into the arena because I tried it last time, but then it really depends on the new patch update. If there's like the dark type ghost Pokemon coming out, then it may be a good counter for it, maybe. But it depends on if people are gonna use it or not. So I do have a lot of different kind of familiar, but yeah. right now I'm not using them because of the toy and stuff. It's not complete, so I'm still stick to whatever I'm using all the time. And yeah, so I guess that's all about the familiar arena, like how I play it. Um, just keep the rank on the top. Do not attack because yeah, because of just to just to have the tickets a bit, not to get tricked by the countdown. But if you are someone just really aim for the six competitive heart star reward or stuff like that, the play reward, yeah, just feel free to go for it. But then I fell for that. I try to attack and I lose a lot. I think I have a lose right before. I'm not sure if it's gonna show here. So you can see I lost this one here, I lost this one here, so it's not good. So yeah, that's why I kind of like stop playing in that way. And this one here I lost attack. Let's just see. Because he has the hippo. Let's just play it slowly. You can see when I pull them and the skill of Hobgoblin stun my pet there and it corrupts it, and then the hippo actually just use the whirlpool kind of things and just yeah, the whole bunch of my familiar just died there. So it really depends on your combinations, your skill, and as I said, the toy is very important because it has like better effect towards to your pet itself. Um, Other than that, I don't really have anything to show about it. Yeah, I do not have proper guide. It's really just observe and use counterproductive measurement kind of things. And if you lose, if you lose that battle, just take note. You can just mark it, maybe on a piece of sheets of paper. Just mark that would be an opponent that you might not want to attack. And yep, that would be all for this video here. And thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and bye.